Tonight's questions come from somebody that doesn't train down here. It's one of my clients, online clients. And they were kind of talking really about when you go to a commercial gym sometimes, you can be limited for space, you can be limited for equipment. And if it's really busy, you know, sometimes you might just manage to get perhaps a box and a set of dumbbells and a mat, you know. Can we put together a COD that's perhaps related to that? Of course we can, easy peasy. So I've got it written down, so if you see me glancing down, I am cheating a little bit, but we'll go through today's COD. It's an elevator type COD, so starting with 12 reps or something, then 10, then 8, and 6, 4, and 2. The idea is that the exercises probably get a little bit harder as you go down. So you can get away with using one set of dumbbells. Obviously, that's going to be trial and error to some degree what weight you need. So on the first set, maybe go a little bit lighter, and then if you can, go and swap it for something else afterwards, all right? So, presuming you've warmed up, presuming you're ready to go, all you need for this COD is a step block. Doesn't have to be hugely high, you know, that sort of shin height's fine. And then a set of dumbbells. Again, doesn't need to be a heavy set, quite simple. And then your first exercise we're going to do is what we call curl thrusters. So it's a bit like a squat, curl and press that we do in a different exercise, but it varies slightly in that we're going to start it in the low position here. You're going to curl to your shoulders, then drive up and press. Bring it back down to your shoulders, into the squat, curl down, curl up, and press again. Up and down. So down, curl down to the sides, bring it back up, and press. So you're doing 12 of those, okay? Doesn't have to be a heavy weight. The whole thing of pushing the weight up and down is going to get your heart rate up quite quickly. The next one that you're going to go at is deficit lunges. Now, for some people, a deficit lunge might just simply using your body weight, and that's fine. So you're going to start stepped on top. You're going to keep all your weight on this leg, and we're going to lunge down to touch the box. Now, I'm trying to get my hips lower than my knee. So it doesn't matter how much lower, but try and get your glutes to kick in. So they want to be lower than your knee, and then drive up and tap the box. And then pop up again. So I'm really trying to focus on that part of my butt doing the work, okay? If that's too easy, grab a dumbbell. We've put here weighted. So I would probably have that just simply in one hand, and then that becomes my extra bit of resistance. To make that harder and perhaps a bit more functional, you can keep the dumbbell up actually above your head, deficit down, and push back up. So if you've got quite light dumbbells, using that above your head is going to make that quite hard anyway, okay? The next one, burpees. Client said the other day, you quite like burpees, don't you, Spence? I said, yes, I do, I love them. So this is a weighted burpee. So as it sounds, really. 2 dumbbells, just move back a bit so you can see it in shot. So simply you're going to drop down to the floor, jump your feet out, hold that position. If you can, I want you to do a press up, whether that be on your knees, like so, or whether it be in this position, and push back up, then jump in, and simply stand back up. So it's down, feet out, press up, jump back in and stand, okay? The next part is Renegade row, and we're going to write all this down on the thing anyway. Your Renegade row is a brilliant exercise for core, chest, upper back, loads of stuff, okay? Start in a presser position with your hands on the dumbbells. Now a little tip is to get the dumbbells quite close together. So they're here, they're touching, and then my feet are quite wide apart. So the first thing I'm going to do is a baby press up. Now, I say baby, I mean down, press, hips back up, row, row. If press up's too easy, do it full. Row, row. Row, row. The biggest thing is stopping the hips from wanting to twist, okay? When you go too heavy, you're going to find that in order to be able to pull that dumbbell off the floor, you've really got to try and rotate through your core, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to try and keep it as still as possible. And if that means you want to keep your knee down for the press up, then so be it. Do it that way, don't hurt yourself. So that'll be 6 reps of those, each side. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, etc. Then the next one that we've got, we're down to 4 reps of the next exercise. So the next part that we're going to do, I think, is a little bit easier. The next bit, you've got a single leg deadlift. So single leg deadlift is literally just pivoting from the hip, trying to get a nice stretch down the back of this leg and then coming back up again. Obviously, you don't need to use a weight, you can just use your body weight again. But if we make it so that we are using the dumbbell, so we're just pivoting from the hip, I can keep my back nice and neutral, not overly arched, not stretched out, just nice, flat back, really feeling that stretch all the way down the back of my hamstrings. If you're strong in that position, you may find that you have to have the dumbbells in both hands to go up and down, that's fine. If you're a bit weaker, just take it away, it's fine. And then the final exercise, 2 reps of weighted get-ups. Now, the extra weight makes this harder and easier at the same time, if that makes sense. So it makes it harder because obviously you're now going to control this weight down to the floor. So if we look at what a get-up effectively is, we're going to drop down and then sit down and then come back up. Now, if you do this slow, then try and stand up, that's going to be pretty hard. You probably find you need to cross your legs. So what we tend to get people to do is from here, come up, push the dumbbell forward and then stand. So on the way down, drop down and come back up, okay? Just 2 reps of those. So that is using 1 set of dumbbells, a small block and probably a mat. Do that 3 times, as many times as you can in 20 minutes, or you can just keep going. We like to put a 20-minute target on it, if that makes sense, so you don't end up doing 45 minutes and on your phone every 5 minutes. Think back to the intensity questions that we had. But already, just playing around with those exercises start to get my heart rate up a little bit. I'll blame it on the fact that I'm man-flued up poorly. But that's a great example of little equipment, not got a lot of room, but you can still get a great little set done. So give it a try. We'll put all of the listings below this in the actual video information, so you've got how to put the COD together, maybe a few more little guidelines and tips in there as well. So that's the question for today answered. We'll let you know about the SoundCloud podcast. We think that might be quite a good way to get some of the more, you don't want to watch my boring face for 20 minutes on a program, but you might want to listen to my boring voice when you're driving to work or something like that. So we thought perhaps the podcast would be a bit more drawn out information. We can do that. So please, please, please keep sending your questions in, health, fitness, nutrition. We'll try and answer them as best we can. Any questions as normal, drop it in the comments or just give us a quick Facebook shout. We'll go over any bits and pieces that you're unsure of. But thanks so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.